show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20. It's over. It's insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Kazual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3, Bird Gang.
Man, we are here to do it again for you, Bird Gang. All of the fans out there in the Valley, again, it is the Kazual Sportz Show. And like I said there in the intro, we are the only show that is the exclusive voice of the Bird Gang. And if you don't believe me, Google it. You'll see it come up. Kazual Sportz is at the top of the list, man. So we are growing leaps and bounds. And I am your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Kazual E. And, of course, the one and only Mr. Sean McConnell is in the house.
What's up?
Yeah, man. Here we go again. It's time to vent or time to... Well, actually, we're calm a little now, so let's just get our little perspective out.
We got some time to be calm.
Exactly. So you want to keep in touch with this show as you always do. And those that are new to the show, go to our 3 outlets on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And, of course, we also have a YouTube page, so it's actually 4 outlets. They all have the same tab, Kazual Sportz, Kazual, and a Z at the end of the word sports. So here we go, man. Let's jump this thing off and find out what's going on in of course, the world of sports.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
In the Kazual house.
Okay, man. We know it's all basic NFL probably. So we definitely going to talk some NFL. We're definitely, of course, going to talk Cardinals camp finished on Sunday. What you got?
Well, I got a list here from Cards Wire. Cliff Kingsbury names 3 training camp standouts, and one of those standouts happens to be rookie Zach Allen.
All right.
Kingsbury says Allen is a guy that just keeps getting better and has some extra reps thrust upon him. He continues to show up from where he started in the spring. He's come a long way. We're going to continue. We're going to be counting on him there inside, and I think that's going to be huge for the Cardinals, especially since that defensive line looks like they need a little bit of help, and maybe some youth might help rejuvenate something when it comes to tackling. Who knows, but we definitely need some more help, and hopefully Zach Allen can provide that.
You definitely said it. It's definitely good news. I'm hoping that it's not just him trying to uplift the guy's, spirits and trying to, get his confidence up, but
right.
Hopefully he's actually showing out like that, because you're right, we are going to need it. Also in the news, Cardinals brought in some help, or at least talked to some help to come on the deep defensive line, but it didn't go down, of course, because the deal hasn't been able to be reached with his name skips me again. He came in.
Clinton McDonald was one of the names that came up, veteran defensive lineman.
That's the veteran I'm talking about.
Yep.
Why is it now all of a sudden nobody can get a deal done with the Cardinals? Do we play hardball at the table or something, man? It's like, here's the deal, take it or leave it.
I feel like there are probably some veteran deals that are getting looked at and maybe scoffed at, which is, when you start getting a name for yourself as a GM with Time Signs, which is the bargain basement of deals that are getting reported year in, year out of veterans, some players might all of a sudden not like that very much and start to see the writing on the wall. Okay, I'm in here and I'm going to get a vet's minimum, and I may not want that, even if I am a little bit older.
Right. Okay, we got a couple of other organizations in the NFL got some heat starting up, man. Mayock came and put the foot down on AB's little antics, and we'll get into that. What do you think? It's
all in his head.
Exactly. And then we got Ezekiel Elliott took some offense to some stuff that old Jerry said.
Oh, that's got to be a can't get right. I want to open up on that one.
It's like, my goodness, Cowboys are always going to be on that can't get right list. Also, Josh Gordon got reinstated, but it doesn't look like he want to hang around in New England. It looks like he's waiting on a call from the Chargers. That's what the headline says.
Well, that's what happens when you're going to have to try and compete against N'Keal Harry in camp.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what happened with N'Keal. I didn't see him in the last preseason game with the Patriots, and they said something about he flew back to Boston the day of the game. So I'm hoping everything is okay. And I tried to get a hold of him. But of course, he's untouchable now. But so trying to text him is like, it's not happening. But hopefully everything went okay. I didn't see anything on the injury report or anything about him. So do you know anything? Is he on the injury list or something?
I'm not seeing it. He didn't participate in left field after stretching and walk through. It might have just been one of those, they don't want to use him. I mean, the Patriots are very smoke and mirrors, so they might not want to show what they're going to do with a big body receiver like that in preseason, even if it's on accident.
Yeah,
so
you have to
that
send
could be
him
my
home.
guess.
You have to send him home to not want to show him. Can he just stay on the sideline?
Well, they said he was injured the first preseason game as well. So, I mean, it might be an injury that they're just resting for him, but it looked like they're saying a lower leg foot injury. That could be probably the problem. Maybe he just tried to go and couldn't go. But, I think he'll be fine. He's going to have a great season for sure.
All right. We're going to switch things that we can talk about also in the NBA that are going down. Dwight Howard looking for a reunion with the Lakers. How you feel about that?
Oh, man.
That.
Karma's a funny thing, Earl. Karma's just a weird thing. You could go to a place, be made to look like a total fool, never be the same again, and all of a sudden that place wants you.
Right.
It's just weird. It's a weird place. And, if they get Dwight Howard, I'm not even going to be mad at that because I think that would be nice for him to be able to kind of get some juice back in. And it might take having LeBron in a cast like that to get Dwight Howard back to what he used to be when he was in Orlando.
Correct. Well, I'm pretty sure he's already saw the writing on the wall that he's not the man. So he has to be a role player. If he's bouncing from team to team to team to team, dude, you're not the man.
He's been humbled, I think, a couple teams ago.
Yeah, a long time now, man. Your role is going to be rebound that basketball, pretty much.
But, shout out to Jay. The Lakers are still going to be a train wreck, so that's all that really matters.
You think so?
Come on, man.
You think it's going to take about a year, a long year for them to gel together and all that type of stuff? And of course,
it's L.A. It's not going to go over well. Come on. They can't get anything right recently. With all that's going on in that front office, forget it. No. Magic Johnson, if one of the nicest guys ever, Magic Johnson, doesn't want to be there,
You're the first person after all the hype to come out and say that they're going to be a train wreck. I heard everybody's perspective is, they're the top of the list in the dang on West now. They're going to be penciled in there with the dang on Western Conference.
Here's the thing that no one really wants to talk about. I mean, some people will talk about it, but not a lot. It's called the LeBron James effect. You get LeBron James, instantly you become a finals favorite, right? That's kind of how it goes. However, what you do is you jeopardize 10 years of your future by getting that man because all he does is get veterans and spend your draft picks away and shoe this and move that and move this. And then before you know it, you have no draft pick for the next 10 years and you have no future once he decides he wants to leave.
Wow.
So the Lakers, no matter what, if it's not this year, not 2 years, not 5, not 6, not 7, they're going to be a train wreck once he leaves. And that's all that I'm looking forward to.
And then Anthony Davis will be in the same situation he was in before in New Orleans. So what was the use in leaving?
And might be even more hurt by then. I mean, you don't know. The guy has not been dependable. That is the sad story with AD. He gets injured a lot. And they're not always serious, but they do miss stretches here and there. And, I mean, he's going to become a team that might want to sustain a playoff run. Will he actually be on the court for it?
Right. So what is the reason for going to LA to begin with? Is it all just marketing? Is it all just to make money on the other side of the NBA?
I got 3 B's. But it's not big baller brand. It's brand, brand, brand. All they care about is their brand in the NBA. And right now, what's the best way to get your brand out? Big markets. Big markets are LA, Florida, Texas, which is not necessarily a big one, but it's big at the same time because you get a lot of money. Texas is weird. But New York, LA, Florida, big markets, big money.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun at the same time.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's something else we can talk about. The Diamondbacks continue to do the up and down, the seesaw, up and down. But yet, at the same time, they do continue to show us what they are, which is a 500 team, period. There's nothing else to be said about that. They are a 500 team, and everybody that's out there trying to look for this run, it's not going to go down. It's not going to go down to no 5, 6, 7 game run in a row. What's the most they've ever won in a row this season? About what? 3? 4, less than that?
Yeah, it's definitely been less than 5 as far as I can remember. But I do have to, before we rail on the D-backs, I do have to give Ketel Marte a huge shout out,
Oh,
and
yeah,
David Peralta for that matter. We went to the game on Friday with my my middle child, my 6-year-old, and he we were sitting pretty close, and he saw Marte on the on deck circle, and we're eating hot dogs, and before I could even finish saying, "Hey, do you want to go up and say hi?" the boy bolted down all the way up to the net and starts yelling, "Marte, Marte!" And Ketel, in mid-swing, just drops his bat, goes over and gives him a high five, and was so cool with him, and dapping it up. And Elijah, he was just ear to ear smiles, and it was amazing to see. So definitely shout out to Marte. I mean, he got the high five and all-star. You don't get to say that every day, so that's pretty cool.
You should have got that on tape. You just missed it.
No, it's all in here in my brain, man. I'm not sharing that memory for anybody.
Yeah, well, yeah, at least it'll be in his heart and brain too. So that's all that really matters. All right, so that's what we can talk about. And we're going to start off getting into our Cardinal talk here. So we're going to get what's going on in the latest of the injury report with the Arizona Cardinals.
Who that? Who did? Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
Okay, so the latest report, of course, on the injury list. Hassan, you were reading earlier about Hassan Reddick is not going to play. So who else is not going to make this game that should have been making this game? Tell me Kevin White's playing. Please tell me Kevin White's playing.
I haven't heard anything yet, so if you haven't heard it now, I don't know that we're going to hear it. I could be wrong. I'm scouring, looking for injuries. We obviously know Robert Alford is going to be out for a long, long time, which is a big blow to a defense that could not afford one. They said that it looks like, it says Brandon Williams had surgery on his back.
Who?
Brandon Williams? That can't.
Quentin Williams, the new rookie?
No, Brandon Williams. Cornerback. Brandon Williams.
Williams. I didn't hear nothing about that.
Yep.
Okay, Brandon Williams.
No, Josh Weinfuss said.
I saw an article from Arizona Sports that they were counting on him to be that guy to come in and be like a depth guy for cornerback.
It looks like we have 0 cornerbacks except for Byron Murphy to start the year, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a good sign in that room.
Not good at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger hit for me is Hassan Reddick. I'm hoping they're just keeping him on the shelf to make sure he lasts the whole season, but constantly on and off that injury report is a big concern for me this year with him, because we are counting on him to go back to the player that we thought he was in college.
Oh, wow, yeah. I don't know what they're going to do, but what corners are out there right now that would fit this system? There's only one guy I can think of at the top of my mind that I think would be a good fit because of attitude.
Don't say Des Bryant.
No. He played cornerback.
Earl's like, he's still got top flight speed.
Yeah, they go, let that go. No, but I think Brent Grimes, man, I think he's got an attitude that we need some more attitude on the outside. But he's a hothead.
Yeah.
He can fly off the handle and do some dumb stuff. But I mean, as far as a corner goes, he has that mentality of when he gets beat, he can erase it and get right back and stay engaged and challenge somebody. Yeah. Everybody else on that list is like there's a list I saw it the other day. It's like, wow, it's not really nothing to.
My concern with Grimes is now his size has been, he's dealt with it his whole career, but now that his age is added up, if his speed is no longer going to compensate for that size difference against maybe a big body receiver, I know, especially with the hot-headedness, I'm not exactly loving that Brent Grimes idea. I mean, I'll welcome it because right now we need bodies, but I don't know if it's going to last much for you more than a game or two.
Okay, so then it's going to come down to that last day of preseason, and you're going to wake up and the waiver wire is going to be filled with guys.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to run fast and find out because you get first dibs at every person on that dang on list, which is pretty awesome. But at the same time, you got to be on top of what you're going after. And then you got to also play in the back of your mind, this guy just got cut. So is it really going to be that big of an upgrade? It's probably just going to be only for depth. It's not going to be to fill no dang starting spot.
Right, because, we're looking at potentially getting 2 of our starting corners back 6 weeks from start of season. So
Okay.
It's definitely going to be a Band-Aid. It's going to be a Band-Aid that you hope sticks on for a little bit and lasts a couple showers, but it's going to be a Band-Aid that isn't permanent for sure.
Right. So we're going to take our first break, but when we come back, we're going to see if the Cardinals are going to even need defense. Can they outscore everybody? And just try to blow people out and hopefully wait until Pat and the defense gets fixed? We'll find out when we come right back. Kazual Sportz Show, Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell, right here on the only network that is the voice of the Bird Gang, KSRN AZ. Stick around, Bird Gang. We'll be right back.
We're going to take a little break, but we'll be back in a while, so don't nobody go nowhere.
Phoenix voters have been deceived. The price tag for Phoenix light rail expansion has tripled in 3 years, costing taxpayers almost $1 billion more than was promised. That's $140,000 per passenger. It would be cheaper to buy every rider a brand new Tesla. You can stop this financial train wreck by voting yes on Prop 105. Prop 105 slams the brakes on wasteful light rail expansion and puts your tax dollars into transportation projects that make sense. Vote yes on 105.
Kazual Sportz Radio Network approves this message.
Alexa, who is the #1 radio station on the web?
KSRN, the hottest internet radio station on the web. If you have a podcast or have music and want to be heard, drop us a line at www.ksrnaz.com. The exclusive voice of the Bird Gang, your Kazual Sportz Radio Network.
Whether a growing family or an upcoming retirement, Debbie Bishop of Homeowners Financial Group USA, LLC is there to help. As a generational lender, Debbie assists everyone from first-time homebuyers to seniors looking into reverse mortgages. With products like FHA, VA, conventional, and jumbo financing, Debbie will work with you to find the loan to best fit your needs. Call 480-305-8505 for a consultation or apply online at homeownersfg.com/Debbie Bishop. NMLS number 234947, BK 0906222, and MLS number 93718, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Ed Smith, host of the Easy Sports Talk Show. In addition to hosting the show every Saturday, did you know I'm also an inspirational and motivational speaker? Utilizing life experience in my 15-year professional sports career, I offer programs to a wide variety of audiences. Tips from the locker room to the boardroom and beyond. Whether you're a corporate executive, sports organization, or faith-based organization, Ed Smith Speaks can customize a team-building, motivational, and inspirational program to fill your needs. I love to come inspire and motivate your group to create lifelong shining moments. To learn more about booking me for your event, visit edsmithspeaks.com or contact me directly at info@edsmithspeaks.com.
Tune in to the hottest hip-hop music in the valley. Music from all the local artists only right here on KSRN, the hottest internet radio station on the web. Featuring artists like Blaine Coffee, J Love, Bad Hollywood, Frontline Music Militia, and more. Hip-hop all night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. daily right here on KSRN, Arizona.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Welcome back into the Casual House, Bird Gang, and all the fans out there of all of the sports teams here in the Valley. Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual Ian, with my man Sean McConnell, of course. We do this every Monday night. And, of course, this season is probably going to be weekly with myself and then Sean kind of in there every once in a while. But we're good. And the Kazual Sportz Show and KSRN is growing. So thank you, Bird Gang. And we're going to get right into what you want, and that is your Arizona Cardinals. So, all right, man. Let's recap this second preseason game.
I feel like I got to drop a verse.
Get Jay to come over here and start dropping some bars on that one.
Yeah,
quick.
we'll leave it to the professionals. We'll leave it to the professionals.
Hey, I'll write with you.
All right. Well, I want to start off with not the game necessarily. Real quick, we'll talk about this. Pro Football Focus released quarterback rankings for the first two games of the preseason.
Rick, come on.
Kyler Murray is 23rd. You buy that or you sell that?
I'm not buying none of that list at all. It's preseason, man. How you gonna already have a list for something that nobody's really doing what they really supposed to do on the field? I mean, they barely playing a quarter. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I guess they're just taking completion percentage and production and putting that in a sheet. But I don't know.
One of those, let's just fill the slots with something to talk about because the time has got 3 weeks left before this thing really kick off. Let's have something to talk about. That's ridiculous. I mean, really. I mean, I'm not downing what those guys are doing over there. You know, they have to write, they have to do what they have to do. But come on now.
Yeah, and like I put in my article out today, Kyler Murray is not the biggest concern, and I think that's something that fans need to realize. The national media definitely needs to realize.
Right.
Kyler isn't the problem right now. The problem is the offensive line, the limiting of what we're actually doing on offense, which Cliff Kingsbury has said himself. They're not going to show everybody the entire bag on the preseason games. You're going to have to wait till week 1 to really see what's going to happen. Check that out on KSRN.com. It'll be right there at the top of your new articles. A little self-pub. Want to push my chest out, get my writing skills on.
Hey, it is what it is. It's a good article, and it's a good read. So, hey, but you talk about the offense. I mean, the offensive line, of course, is the key, of course. But
right.
The whole national story right now is the offense itself as to what we're running. And everybody's, I don't want to call it an excuse. I think it's a valid point that we're not even running our stuff. But if they're not running their stuff, I think from what I see going in, it's like, okay, if you're not going to run your stuff, at least you want to put on tape something that you can hang your hat on.
Something.
Something, man. It's like, okay, and for that offensive line, you have to hang your hat on being physical. And I did not see any of that in that first game. The second game. The first game, you didn't have to be as physical because it was ball out quick.
Right.
Now they were trying some new things, and it's like you have to hold up a little longer, and they're not holding up. Either they just saying, oh, we know we're not running our stuff, so we just kind of I just get pushed around, push back. And it's like, come on now, you got to be physical out there, or you're gonna first of all, you're gonna get hurt if you're not.
Right, because you're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention. I've seen too much of that. Too much of the not paying attention. The snap count and people going, oh, and they reacting late to the snap count, all those things.
Right.
So where are they? And where does I do understand now that the training camp is done with now. So now they get a couple of weeks to go into hiding and not show everybody what they're doing. And now they're going to probably kick the media out and go really try to focus on what they're focusing on. But if you're not, you shouldn't have to focus on being physical.
No. Or tackling.
Teach that. You shouldn't have to teach that at all. That should automatically be. And I get so tired. I'm sorry, I got to say, I get so tired of seeing DJ Humphries playing around on camera and bouncing like he doing his job. Dude, you getting your butt kicked on the end. It's a preseason game.
Right.
That just blows my mind. But let's just see where they're at after the fact. But for me, like you said, it has to be physical. And that's why the defense gets punked in those 2 games, because they're not physical.
Right.
I noticed a couple of things on tape with that as well with the defense, and they just seem like they're a step behind, and they do seem like they have a mindset of hold back, hold back, hold back. But at the same time, I watched that tape over and over the other night, pausing, going, pausing. I see guys out of position. I see guys don't even know where they're supposed to be on the field.
Yeah. They look lost.
They do look lost. On the first touchdown to Grant, Jordan Hicks and Byron Murphy both bit on the inside receiver going across and right. They both run that way, leaving that guy wide open in the flat. I mean, I don't know whose position that was supposed to be. Probably Hicks, but somebody's got to know that there's 3 receivers over there.
Right.
And somebody has to pick up that inside guy. And it's like I saw that on both the touchdowns. The bomb that Hudley threw, that Glennon threw, I'm sorry.
Yeah, MVP Mike Glennon.
Yeah, man, they made that dude look like.
And we're still paying him. We're still paying him money.
Oh, I know.
He must have enjoyed every minute of that game.
The defense is definitely playing like they're a step behind, like they don't really know. They're not sure as to what. And a lot of people are trying to say you can put that toward because they're going against this offense in the practices. So a conventional, offense comes out there and runs some stuff that you haven't seen, but you've been in the league long enough to know. I mean, if you're a starter in this doggone league, if you don't know
how hard is it, you follow the guy with the ball and you knock him down. I'm sorry, doesn't matter what offense you're going up against. You get the guy that has the ball and you knock him down. There's no zone. There's nothing. You get the guy with the ball and that's it. The big difference for me, yards per rush. I know this is a preseason game, and I know this is third, fourth stringers and stuff, but 3.1 to 5.5.
Right.
You're getting 5.5 every rushing attempt. I mean, come on. You got to do something.
You're right. The numbers don't lie. I mean, that Raider offense, all 3 quarterbacks, 21 of 24 for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. There is no resistance. There is no resistance. It's like, where's the pressure at? Where's Chandler and Sizzle at? They are kicking it, man. They're like, I ain't got to go full strength. I'm not going to do that in no preseason. And you can tell it's like that.
Yeah.
And I heard the interview of Steve Kahn came on a radio show, and he was saying that exact same thing. Guys just though they got a job, just sitting back like they don't have to really perform. And preseason.
It's a job interview.
Right, exactly. It's a job interview. And preseason, when you think preseason, the word comes to my mind would be effort. Because guys are on the jobs are on the line. People are putting all their effort out there no matter what it is. It's a preseason game, and I'm at least be physical and try to beat the dude in front of me.
Right.
But this team, for some reason, I don't know. And I'm hoping that's just not this new coach coming in with this fancy offense and everybody's as relaxed as he looks.
No, it's pretty boy offense, I think is what they called it, right?
It's all good. So coach said it's all good. So we ain't got to trip. We ain't got to worry about it.
My biggest concern
like that.
My biggest concern is that you have maybe let's say we're pumping the brakes on preseason. Don't try so hard. Don't get hurt. Don't show too much. Yeah, whatever. If you're doing that, how are you going to be able to flip that switch week 1? Because teams that always try that end up. Well, now we're 0-2 because we were just goofing around and we're not being serious. Yeah. I mean, I've had job interviews where I went into that thing not serious, and guess what? I didn't get that job.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how it goes.
That's a good point. So now, what do they do? What are they working on?
Hopefully, tackling. I mean, if we're gonna get fundamental with it, you got to do tackling, right? I mean, that seems like one of the biggest problems.
It's been a problem for a long time, not just last night, but Larry had some things to say about their offense that I thought was interesting. He pretty much came on that show when they did the interview on the sideline with him. He pretty much told what was going on. See if I can actually find it here. He pretty much let it be known what they're doing. I mean, they're not going to put anything on that preseason game.
And with Cardinals legend Larry Fitzgerald, we were expecting a lot because we know this is a new offense that you guys have here. And you were telling me, we shouldn't take too much about what we saw tonight. What should we take away?
The only time we actually huddle is during the games right now. In practice, we're always up-tempo, on the line of scrimmage, running plays, with 25 seconds left on the clock or so. I mean, when you get to the regular season, that's what you'll be expecting. So this is a little bit different, and we're not really running a lot of our stuff either. But we do have to be a lot more punctual in terms of the penalties and things of that nature. We can't have those kind of penalties.
Wow. So he basically just told us we're not running our real stuff, and at the same time, we definitely know we're not running it because we don't ever huddle in the dang practices.
And for a guy who is very good at dancing around the retirement question for so many years, for him to go out and actually give something is very concerning. And he gave it. Note this: he gave it before Cliff did.
I know.
Which means Cliff had to back up the face of the franchise legend. Yeah. Larry hung out Coach to dry. Did you just notice that? Did you see what happened?
Hung him out big time. And so it's like, hey, he the man. What you going to tell him?
So if Larry's saying, okay, we don't even do huddles, I'm not discouraged at all with the offense then.
I'm not. And then when I heard that, I mean, I put that into the equation after I heard what he said, and I'm going, okay. So, and I went to camp once or twice. I can count on, twice.
Band camp, right?
Exactly. Training camp. I
no,
went to training
band camp
twice. And I do see exactly what he just said. Exactly what he said. That's all they did was up tempo. It was no huddle. Let's just keep going. Go play. Yeah. Every play was getting off in 15 seconds at the line. All those things. So if that's their offense and they didn't run any of that, Kyler Murray, his performance, you can't really put a whole lot of, onto that performance.
So we know then basically what the goal of this offense is, not in the preseason, because apparently what we're looking at is a movie trailer that is for a movie that doesn't actually exist.
Right.
So the week one, we're looking at an offense that their goal is to be so fast that the defense is always on their heels. And that the goal for Kyler is once he gets to that line is he's pointing out all the reads right away.
Right.
And going real quick with it. That is encouraging because, one, that offensive line that looks like Swiss cheese isn't going to need to be Swiss cheese because it's only going to be a 3-second play.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I can live with that. And so can the offensive line because they're not getting beat up as much. They're not having to be out as much. They might have to run a little bit more, but, it's Arizona. You sweat out all the conditioning already, so you should be fine. My concern is still with the defense. That has not been answered.
We know that's the issue. I'm just kind of trying to focus on the offense as far as all this, what we're going to see, what we're not going to see.
Right.
And everybody almost seemed to look like they forgot about what happened the week before. I mean, we did get a chance to see the ball come out quick and the quick outs and that's still part of the offense.
Right.
Now, the only thing that's missing from the offense that they're not running is all of the things that would fool a defense.
Motion, everything.
Motion and faking like we're going over here. But they were just doing basic things. And those basic things looked good last week because it was quick. This week, it seemed like they were focusing a little bit more on can we protect Kyler?
And they have that answer.
And the answer spit them in their ass because it's like, oh, these dudes can't keep that dude upright.
Right.
And it looks if it's going to be like that, then now we're becoming really predictable because I don't care how much you spread out and keep doing that. If you can't protect, that kid's going to be running for his life all year long.
And I think this goes into what you let out before the break. Is this going to be a team where defense might not matter? Is this going to be a team that can run up the score and it's going to be a shootout?
Right.
I still don't know on that. I still don't know. I have to see a couple drives first of the real offense this time.
The drive on game one leads me to believe that that's pretty much almost what they're going to look like. The spread, quick throw, move the change, 5 yards, two throws, move the change. But the part to me right now that's a little on the offense, that's a little concerning to me. And you tell me if you saw the same thing. This is just my eyes, and it's just one man's opinion. I'm not seeing the same David Johnson running. I'm not.
I'm seeing the same David Johnson as last year that you were always pointing out that he's hesitating.
That's the David I saw last night was last year's David.
Yeah.
I have not seen 2016 David in a long time. I am so tired of him doing that jump skip before he takes off running.
Yeah.
And I looked at the tape. Every time he hands the ball up, he jumps up and does that skip and then finds the hole.
It's like yips, man.
And he's yeah. That's what it feels like. It looks like he's missing the hole.
Yeah.
Because I saw last night on the tape, I was like, the first run and the second drive, they handed it to him. He did the dance thing and went right into all the Raiders, and his blocking was right there on the left. I was like, he left his blocking. It's like he's having trouble picking the holes.
See, here's the thing that I think can erase all that. That this didn't happen last year. We saw one thing in preseason game 1, and that was a screen. And I'm going to keep saying it. Apparently, I have a thing for screens. I didn't know. I mean, I played basketball, so it makes sense. But if David Johnson can have 5 successful screens in a game, maybe for 80 yards, that counts for 80 of his yards, we're not going to look so heavily at those 2-yard runs, those 3-yard runs that he's running into the wrong hole. We will overlook that completely if he's picking up huge chunk plays in the passing game, in the screen game, and all over.
Right. But, I mean, at the same time, those screen games will open up his running game at the same time, too, but you still got to pick the right hole. The play is designed for you to go a certain way. I know, and he had his success in 2016 going against the play. If you notice that, it was always, go to the backside, and he found that opening hole, so he figures that's there all the time.
Right.
And that's not always the case. Sometimes your block is right there in front of you.
Yeah.
And I saw that on tape. Dude, stay to the left. You're blocking. I mean, outside of DJ and the guard, who was it? Cole. Was it Mason Cole? I believe it was. Opened up a gaping hole that if he went through it, he'd be at least got 5-6 down the sideline on the left. And it's like he's not seeing the whole either, or David's not running hard like David can run hard. He's still got that little nonchalant skip and that nonchalant, let me just go here and just lay down for a sec. It's like I don't see the same intense runner from 2016.
You think he's looking for the home run play versus the play that's designed every single time he's looking for it?
You know what? That's a good point. You know why that's a good point? Because the play that he did get to the outside got called back. His head dropped like, oh man, a flag, and I finally get a long run.
Right.
And he ran down the sideline, really, and they called it back because Ricky Seals pretty much tackled somebody on the edge.
Ricky's got to have to watch out for that too, because he needs to be big this year.
Too much, man.
So let me follow up with that then with David. You think that him looking for the home run play every play is a result of that 1,000 goal he's got?
Yeah, too much yapping.
Just go out there and ball, right?
Do the job. Do your job. Exactly. It sounds like a cliche, but you're right. He's putting too much pressure on him to make that accomplishment again, to get back to old David. You don't have to come out and say nothing, dude. Just learn your job and do the job.
Right.
One thing I can say I did notice on tape that he's gotten better at is picking up the blitz, because he picked up 2 good blitzes that kept Kyler upright to be able to throw the ball, which he missed on one because he whiffed on one, but the other, he had 3 of them, and the other 2 he got perfect. So
that'll help.
Better at picking up the blitz. So if he could just stay with that, do the job, just know even if it's the basic thing, just do the basic thing, because sometimes that's the right play. That's going to be the right play to get you that long run you're looking for. Just do the basic thing. If the play's not there, then I can understand you trying to improvise, but wait till it's not there first. Don't just skip. And the skip thing, that's his style. I get it.
Skip to my Lou.
Skip.
It's looking like and one.
Skip thing, man. It also gives the defense an advantage to me. It's like usually a running back's got to get the ball, hit a hole, and go.
Right.
I mean, I get that being patient, like Le'Veon Bell and all. I get all of that, but sometimes in this offense, how things are quick. Those holes are there fast. You got to hit them and get through them. So, I mean, I hope he can get that. I mean, nobody else is really saying anything about that. It's not that big of a deal. I'm hoping that it's just another one of those preseason things, and when the season starts, he'll start running hard and going to the right where he's supposed to go. But
yeah, I mean, it seems like he wants to go untouched, and he forgot that he can get touched up a little bit and then just bolt for it. But segue a little bit real quick. We were talking about Ricky Seals. Our insider on Ricky Seals, Valentine Flores, just let us know on Facebook that he spoke to Ricky Seals, and coach's orders were that he needs to relax, take care of his body. Right. So, okay, fine. But if you're going to be pancaking and holding on to guys when you shouldn't be, Ricky, that's a little different. So we're going to call you out on that still. But I'm glad you're taking care of yourself, because we need you this year.
Yeah, we're going to need him and Charles Clay. I want to see what this offense is going to look like with Clay out there.
Yeah, 2 tight end sets, fine with me, man.
Yeah, for sure. But especially when you know this team has never been, known for having a great tight end. We need at least an effective tight end. We don't need a great one. We just need an effective one.
End zone target and a blocker.
We haven't even had that. But let's talk about Kyler Murray's performance overall. What did you think as far as, we know it was a vanilla defense he's going up, but he didn't look as sharp.
No, he looked shook.
I thought, yeah, exactly. I thought on tape he got shook up and a little distracted because of all the penalties and the hand clapping and all those things that were going down kind of distracted him, and he started missing on throws that he never was missing on in training camp. So
I think that was a perfect storm for Kyler. I think that was something where he had to kind of figure out what was going on. Honestly, I mean, he's used to doing this clap, and now all of a sudden he can't do it, and now he's like, oh wait, am I on the goal line? I'm down. Oh, I'm down in the goal line. What's going on? Like, this whole game just kind of got away from him real quick. And I mean, it's good for him to have a game like that, because stuff's going to hit the fan every game. Every game plan's going to get thrown out the window. That's just what happens in the NFL. And he did not succeed in this type of test.
Right.
But it's good to know that he can get that early and take that as a learning experience. And I'm hopeful that he'll be able to learn from it for sure.
Here's the thing, though, Sean. He hasn't had that moment yet.
No.
That welcome to the moment, welcome to the NFL moment. He hasn't had that yet because this is not regular season.
This is the closest you can get to it, though, without it being regular season.
Closest he can get to having some disappointment, because he never saw that. He's always been successful in everything he did on the field, so that's good in that aspect. But you haven't got that welcome to the NFL moment yet. That was just a very little good taste of it. The Raiders pretty much performed for Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
they can come out and be successful and have something to talk about. I guarantee you'll see it on the next episode. All the talking behind the scenes we're going to hear. It's coming out. Trust me.
Oh, I know. But still no picks.
You're going to hear all the behind the scenes, with that offense, like Jordan was saying, all the stuff he said. So.
Pretty boy offense, yeah. But the pretty boy didn't throw a pick.
Right.
So we still have that.
But remember, I don't know if you remember me saying this back when me and you and I were kind of going, let's get the defensive guy because the quarterback's not tall enough and blah, blah, blah back at the draft.
Right.
And my reasoning for that was always saying that exact point of what the Raiders did to Kyler. That's, can Kyler stand in there in the face of a blitz and throw that ball under duress? I noticed every time that blitz is coming, he's bailing out and falling on the ground. That's okay to stick to be safe in the preseason.
Right.
But there's going to come a time where you have to stand in there, step up, and throw that ball. Because I'm telling you, it seems like he can't do that because he can't see over the line to be able to step up and throw that ball in front of a blitz.
Maybe.
And the reason why I say that is because in the fourth quarter, the young kid Drew Anderson,
he threw one.
His check down on that last drive about 6 times in a row. I don't know if you saw it. The blitz was coming. He stepped up, just dump it down right in the middle.
Sometimes even jumping and throwing.
Just check down in the middle. Check down in the middle. Check down in the middle to the tight end. Check down in the middle to the running back. He did it the whole drive down the field, and then he finally scored the touchdown with the same thing. It wasn't a check down, but he just knew where that tight end was, gave his tight end a chance to catch the ball, and he stood in there in front of the blitz. Kyler has to stand in front of a blitz at some point and throw the ball. That has been my concern from day one. And so NFL teams, like Jordan was saying, are going to figure that out. They're going to keep feeding you that stuff because they see you can't handle it.
Yeah, if not this year, then year 2.
Oh, for sure, year 2.
Just in time for the sophomore slump. So, I mean, it's an inevitability, and we have to find out if he's durable enough to take those hits.
Has to. I'm not telling him to just take unnecessary hits, but I'm just saying, there's going to come a time in a true game where all the scheming's going on and blah, 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 that you have to just say, you know what, the hell with this. I'm getting this. I'm leading this team. And you have to stand in there because that's what's going to win games for you.
Right.
That's what's going to build you as a superstar. Yeah, all the running around and all the quick offense, that's going to die at some point. Can he stand in there and throw the ball? That's what it's all going to come down to. Because I don't think Kingsbury's offense is that much of a gimmick as everybody thinks it is. I think it's balanced enough to have an actual running game and all that stuff. But at some point, he has to stand in there and make plays. He can't be ready to run down and get on the ground all the time.
Yeah.
So hopefully the first year or hopefully the first couple of games, like I said, that the air raid offense, nobody knows what it's going to look like, and it's going to be all over the place, and they're going to be, high flying, and everybody's all excited. But This is the NFL. and like that Joyner dude said, Lamarcus Joyner said, that offense is something that the NFL just doesn't like because it takes away the physicality out of the game. And that's physical when you have to be a quarterback and stand in there in the face of a blitz and just throw that ball and eat helmet or eat whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's going to it has to happen for you to be a successful quarterback, period. So that has been my concern with him. I mean, all the running around, all the other stuff did not concern me at all. I was always saying, man, when I look on tape, playoff games, big games are always won with the quarterback standing in there in the face of a blitz. Always.
Yeah.
So I've watched him for 2 games in the training camp, and they got him trained right now not to take hits. I get that. But at the same time, I'm not saying take unnecessary hits, but at the same time, you got to be tough enough to know, hey, this play's going to work first. The guy's going to be there. I have to get the ball to him. You can't just be ready to bail out because some plays that they're calling could be perfect plays for that blitz. I'm telling you, you can burn a team on a blitz really good if you got a quarterback that can stand in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me you haven't seen Peyton Manning do that. Tell me you haven't seen Tom Brady do that. Tell me you haven't seen the good ones. No, you come blitz me, buddy. It's on and cracking.
Especially if it's single coverage.
Exactly. And so when you look on the play when he got the safety, if he steps up, his outlet right in the middle was sitting right there wide open.
Yeah.
It might have been a 2-yard throw, but you step up and just jump up and throw that 2 yards. At least you got out of there. You got a positive play out of that blitz.
And he might have 5 extra yards.
Yeah, and you stop that, and you're going to have the runner of the ball is going to definitely be open running into some space because everybody's in the backfield.
Right.
So it's going to take heart, first of all, to be able to
stand. I'm not willing to get knocked out like that. I'm good. I don't want that car accident on me. No, thanks.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I tried playing the position. When I was back, I was like,
back in
put
my
me
day.
at wide receiver because this ain't happening. But it's not for the faint of heart, man. You gotta have heart, man, to stand in there to do that. And his size and his build and all that kind of concerns me that at some point, I've seen Russell do it. I've seen Russell eat it.
Yeah.
But you can best believe when he's eating it, he's always completing that ball, and you're going, damn, we almost had him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting up off the turf, and it's a touchdown. It ain't going to matter.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I'm just hoping he can get over that fear of taking a hit in the NFL. Get it over with.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually.
It's coming. His moment hasn't got there yet. But I didn't mean to get on a tangent on that whole issue with that. But I just thought that was something I needed to say because I see that on tape. What's that?
I said I blacked out. What happened?
Oh, no, I'm just saying. You blacked out. You took a hit coming straight down of a blitz.
Yeah. I missed the whole rant. I wasn't even awake.
When we come back, we're going to surf around the NFL, some stories that we can talk about, probably see some stuff that people can't get right, and some social media stuff. Stick around, Bird Game. We'll be right back. Kazual Sportz Show right here on KSRN. We'll be right back.
Phoenix voters have been deceived. The price tag for Phoenix light rail expansion has tripled in 3 years, costing taxpayers almost $1 billion more than was promised. That's $140,000 per passenger. It would be cheaper to buy every rider a brand new Tesla. You can stop this financial train wreck by voting yes on Prop 105. Prop 105 slams the brakes on wasteful light rail expansion and puts your tax dollars into transportation projects that make sense. Vote yes on 105.
Kazual Sports Radio Network approves this message.
Settle down, children, settle down. Now who can tell me who the #1 radio station is on the web? Zaylee?
Kazual Sportz. Internet Network.
KSRN. Exclusive voice for all fan clubs and the community.
This is Larry Fitzgerald. You listen to the exclusive voice of the Bird Gang, Kazual Sportz.
Welcome back into the Casual House. Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell right here on KSRN AZ, the hottest radio station on the web. You know where to go get it, www.ksrnaz.com. And don't forget to download the Android and iOS apps that'll give you listening access to the station right there in your hands. So you want to download that, go to www.ksrnaz.com. All right, man. So we got some other news going down, but that's going to probably fit into this segment that you know we love to do.
Here's to those who just
Shooting under his head. That must mean can't get right. Can't get right. That's the kid's name? Yep. No, can't get right. Can't get right. This is you, baby. This you can't get right. Can't get right.
can't get right.
Can't get right. This is starting to get a little buzz going a little bit. People don't want to be on here now, so it's pretty cool. But can't get right always points to those people that just can't get it right. I mean, just things that just keep doing and can't do, or made a stupid move or a bad decision, whatever it may be. There's a whole lot of things that can go on this list. So what you got going, man? I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with the Raiders again.
I'm gonna go easy on the Raiders today.
Really?
I'm gonna go easy on the Raiders. We all know that the clown show is still in business, so I'm gonna give him his time to kind of figure out what helmet he wants. He's filing grievances left and right. Who knows?
But to that point, though, I mean, the idiots talk about, he wants a safe helmet. But dude, that's what they're doing it for. They're giving you a safety helmet for your safety, man.
Earl, it's not safe for his brand.
Exactly. But he better go back and ask Vontez Burfict if it's safe, because Vontez put him to sleep with that same helmet on, and he's trying to fight for.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know Vontez is real. I think he thinks he's a nightmare.
Man.
All right, here's who I got. I got the Dallas Cowboys.
Of course.
It's not just Ezekiel Elliott. I'm gonna go first with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, he likes himself.
Man.
He likes himself his players, right? Obviously, he's the owner, GM, boss man, head cheese, whatever you want to call him. He does everything.
Crazy man, yeah.
The crazy man, the guy who should be in an old folks home, but that's besides the point.
Right.
Jerry Jones, when asked about Ezekiel Elliott, says, "Zeke who?" and laughs.
Oh, man.
What type of stupid do you have to be to throw shade at your best player? I'm going to say he's your best player because Dak's not your best player. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Of course.
Ezekiel Elliott's your best player. So that's out the way. Now you got Ezekiel Elliott, who can't just take it and laugh and deal with it, right?
Right.
Lets it out through his representative, which was Agent Rocky. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last name. That is a mess. His Agent Rocky. Let's go with that. He says, "I didn't think it was funny, and neither did Zeke. We actually thought it was disrespectful." Disrespectful, just like disrespectful for you not showing up to work every day?
Yeah. Jerry just took his pot shot because he was frustrated.
Yes.
But the thing about it is he didn't come back and retract, "I'm just joking." He didn't say that.
Well, he said we're having some fun, not at your expense.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, if he just said that he's having some fun, what's the big deal?
The big deal is that these players now are so dang sensitive.
Yeah, too sensitive, man.
They can get hit in the head 100 times with or without the right helmet, but they can't get one sort of thing said negative about them? Come on. I had haters like from day one when I joined on the radio with you. We both know this.
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's a good point, though. But now it's going to get ugly now that he got that said, and now it's going to really get ugly.
The Cowboys will always be America's mess.
Trade me. Which is not going to happen, of course. But.
No, because no other team has that tube-top jersey.
Really? Another thing that's okay, get right, it has to be the Arizona Diamondbacks at home cannot win in their own building at home. Why is that?
Hey, man.
Against mediocre talent, you can't win at home.
Hey, we're beating the Rockies right now. 2-1.
At home?
2-1.
Wow. I got a feeling that somebody's going to turn that around to against the Diamondbacks in that situation. Who's pitching?
Who's pitching tonight? I don't have that pulled up. Why are you going to put me on the spot like that?
Oh, man. I'm just saying. It doesn't really matter who it is because that person, if it's relief or if it's whatever, it's going to be somebody's going to get blew up and that game's going to change and they're going to end up. Let me stop.
Yeah. Shout out to Archie though. He's gotten a lot better as of late. So I'm gonna say shout out to Archie.
I'm that dude on the radio. I mean, in my car listening to everybody saying the Diamondbacks this, Diamondbacks that. And the whole year I've been saying they're not going to do jack. Man. They're going to do exactly what they always do. Stay in a little place and don't know how to win big games. And don't know how to stand up and get consistent and win games in a row that would put them in that dang spot, in that playoff spot.
Well, you spoke right on time. Andrew Chafin's pitching. They got a man on first and third, and there's only one out. So thanks a lot, Earl. Appreciate it.
My bad, Diamondback fan. My bad. I don't mean to be too negative. But here's another thing that's on Can't Get Right. Check this out. I'm not going to say he can't get right, but it's the whole notion of.
You got me worried.
Well, it's something we've already talked about. I just got to get you out the way because you're on my screen. Hold on.
The Arizona Cardinals' new offense and their young rookie quarterback and the college style that they were going to be bringing to the NFL. And you said, I cannot stand college offenses in the NFL. How come?
Well, it's pretty boy football. It don't allow the defense to play physical like the game was meant to be. So, when you go against offense like that, you have to introduce that physicality to them because they don't want to do that.
And so you make it your mission to do what?
Run that kind of offense out of the NFL.
Oh, man. What can't get right here is people got to get on board with the NFL is changing. I mean, they're taking all that physical stuff pretty much out of the dang game. We got to stop having these guys to be that old dude saying, get off my grass. I mean, got to give them these offenses are, nobody said that about Kansas City's offense last year. Nobody said nothing about the Rams offense last year. Why is it all of a sudden? It's because it's a newer offense coming in under this coach and this, that is like all these other things behind it. Everybody's pumping and stumping on this offense. I mean, the NFL is designing itself now to be less physical.
Right.
I mean, am I wrong about that? I mean, am I missing something?
No, because the Seattle Seahawks run a similar offense with a similar type quarterback, but the difference was that they were a physical offense. They had Marshawn Lynch. They don't have Marshawn Lynch, and they haven't been as physical. But no one's quoting them because there's a respect thing because they've done it once. I don't think that this is going to be right. They did it once, so they've got this little cachet, if you will, and the Cardinals don't have anything to build off of. They had a 1-year team, they scrapped it, and they started over with this innovation, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it, but this pairing, and it's getting all this buzz because he's a Heisman Trophy winner. He lit up the college game, and now you don't want him to translate to the NFL. Well, too bad. The commissioner's doing that on his own. He's turning the game into college on his own. And before you know it, it's going to be flag football. So you might as well prepare for that too.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I don't know. But at this offense, when you look at this offense, do you think Kingsbury now is putting way too much pressure on himself by hiding this thing this long? I mean, at some point, you got to put something out there on the field that's going to show what you're going to be doing in game one of the season. You have to, because otherwise, what are you going to do when you're just going to turn that switch on like you were saying earlier? You're just going to turn the switch on to be able to run the offense and know what's going on?
I mean, it's a little pressure. Not that they're not practicing those plays. It's not like they're looking over those plays and practicing them and getting used to them because they certainly are. And if they're not, then we have bigger problems at hand. But I think, there's a little bit of pressure there because week one, everyone's going to go, okay, so what's the real offense? And the second there's an incomplete, you're going to have a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of questions something goes wrong. So there's pressure, but I think that these Cardinals will hopefully be able to figure it out before it's too late.
Yeah, it almost kind of feels like the whole league is ganging up on us, too, because you see what's going on. Oh, Raiders put on tape how to stop that offense. So now all we're going to do is just pile up on the blitzes and just run that thing out of the NFL. I don't think it's just that simple.
No.
Because there's other nuances about this offense that can be deadly.
And not to mention the NFL week to week is about personnel and matchups, and not every team's built the same way that the Raiders are. Helmets are not.
Man, time just goes by too fast, man. I'll be trying to get some other stuff in, and I get the rambling, and you get, man, it just gets, I got to get more time. But you're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show. Thank you, Bird Game, for coming in again. With my man, Sean, Earl Burnett. This has been the Kazual Sportz Show. Again, go to our website, www.ksrnaz.com. We'll check you out next time, Bird Game. Peace.
Yep.
Man, that goes by too fast.